Good morning, dear cadets. So we are in the group number 16. Okay. So almost physical properties or trends in physical property we have already discussed. Now some of the questions related with the trends in physical properties are there. Like just see, O2 is diatomic gas, whereas S8 is puckered ring solid. Okay. So now in the 15th group you have solved one question. N2 is the diatomic gas, but phosphorus is a tetrahedral solid. You have written this one or not? The same way here O2 is diatomic gas, whereas S8 is puckered ring solid. We'll answer in the same pattern as we have answered in case of group number 15. Before that, I am telling you the yesterday's video, just be careful regarding that question. The electron affinity of oxygen is lesser than sulfur, or this question can be asked in this way also. The means electron gain enthalpy of oxygen is less negative than electron gain enthalpy of sulfur. So yesterday I have explained, please be very careful, solve that questions, understand. Same way in the 17th group you will get another question. Electron gain enthalpy of fluorine is less negative than electron gain enthalpy of chlorine. So simultaneously I have answered both questions. Okay. So in the same way you should write less electron gain enthalpy means their electron taking tendency is less. Okay. So let us come back on this question. O2 is diatomic gas, whereas S8 is puckered ring solid. Why? So just see. This is the structure of sulfur, S8. What is the molecularity of sulfur? S8. This is puckered ring structure, puckered ring crystalline structure. And what is the structure of oxygen? Oxygen structure is like that, O double bond O, this one. This is O2, okay? O2. Now try to understand here. O, okay? O2 means 2O should be there. Now just see, first S2, 2S2, 2P4. Now try to understand P by Pz orbital of both oxygen atom is having unpaired electron. So they will go for the overlapping. Okay. So you know whenever Pz overlap, they form the sigma bond. So the O2 structure is like that. You are writing O double bond O. Out of two, one is sigma, other is pi. One is sigma, other is pi. It's okay, no problem at all. So just see, Pz overlap and they will form the sigma bond, and P pi means Py and Py, they will overlap and they will form pi bond. It's okay, there is no issue. Question arises here, why O2 is diatomic gas? Try to understand. Oxygen being a first member, their electronegativity is more and atomic size is small. So these two conditions are favorable for the formation of P pi bond. So here I wrote, due to small size and high electronegativity of oxygen atom, there exists P pi bond between two oxygen atom. Due to small size and high electronegativity of oxygen atom, there exists P pi bond between two oxygen atoms. So oxygen size is small, electronegativity is high. So what would be there? Now they will overlap. And they will complete their octet. And now between O2 and O2 molecules, or you can say among the O2 molecules, what kind of forces will exist? Van der Waals force of attraction will exist. Van der Waals force of attraction will exist. So what would be there? They will be in the gaseous state. Now what about the case of sulfur? Just try to understand. Sulfur is forming puckered ring structure. This is crown shape. This can also be known as crown shape. While S go for P pi D pi bonding. Yes, sulfur go for P pi D pi bonding. Why? Because the sulfur atomic size is large, electronegativity is less. So what is there? These two conditions are unfavorable for the formation of P pi bonding. So sulfur will go for the P pi D pi bonding. So when it will go for P pi D pi bonding, then what would be there? S8 will have puckered ring structure. They will go for P pi D pi single bond. So when 8 atoms of sulfur will come close to each other, then only their octet will be completed. So that is why sulfur is puckered ring crystalline solid. Okay, this is the reason, because atom only go for the bonding when they want to complete their octet. And one more thing is there, p pi d pi, see, yes, go for sulfur, go for p pi t pi bonding due to bigger size p pi d pi, due to bigger size and less electronegativity. Hence S8 is puckered ring structure. Here one more point is there, that is most important. P pi d pi allows sulfur atom to make single bond due to energy difference between p and d orbital. See, in case of oxygen, what is there? Overlapping orbitals are 2p and 2p. Energy difference is not there. Very easily they will multiple time they will overlap and they will form the p pi bonding. Here what is there? Energy difference is there. What is the energy difference? Energy difference is between means p and d orbital. So multiple time they can't overlap. Single time they can overlap, but double time they will not overlap. So what would be there? That is why they form single bond, and because of the formation of single bond, one single bond, their octet will not completed. So they will form puckered ring structure so that their octet completed. This is the reason, that is why sulfur is crystalline solid. Now question is, why crystalline solid? Okay, puckered ring is justified. Why solid? When so many atoms come close to each other, then what would be there? Now they will have the base conglomeration, aggregation of so many atoms. So it will be solid state. It will be solid state. Okay. Now here what is there? Only 2 atoms has completed their octet. So why they will go for the more number of atoms? That is why they are in the gaseous state. And among the molecules of oxygen, van der Waals force of attraction is there. Here what is there? Solid structure is there, because so many sulfur atoms come close to each other. Okay. So dear cadet, just see another question. In vapor phase, sulfur is found in S2 form. S2 form. So in S8, what is there? P pi d pi bonding is there. P pi d pi bonding is there. Where it is there? In sulfur atom. Okay. S8, and the structure is puckered ring structure. But in vapor phase, sulfur is found in S2 form. S2 form, that is p pi bonding is there in S2. Okay. Next one is chemical properties. So just see, just you note down this one. This is the important information. And not only this one, here unpaired. See, if p pi bonding would be there, na, so their structure would be like that. Just see, S double bond S. Around the sulfur, how many electrons are there? 6 electrons are there. So just see, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. There is one question, we will discuss that one in later on. Their structure will be like that, isn't it? And this is type of p pi bonding, just like O2, O double bond O. Now let us move to the oxidation state and trends in chemical property. So what are the members of 16 group? The members of 16 groups are oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. Okay. So all are supposed to have -2 oxidation state. If you see the electronic configuration of 16 group elements, all will have -2 oxidation state. Am I correct or not? Because in their p orbital 4 electrons are there. If 2 more electrons they will have, so they will have 6 electrons in p subcell and their octet will be completed. So they should exhibit -2 oxidation state. But try to understand. Of course, in most of the compounds, oxygen atom exhibit only -2 oxidation state. But some exceptions are there where oxygen is exhibiting other than -2 oxidation state. There is one compound. What is that one? O2F2. What is the name of this one? Dioxygen difluoride. Here oxygen oxidation state is +1. Another one is oxygen difluoride. Here oxygen oxidation state is +2. Here what is this one? hydrogen peroxide H2O2. Here oxygen oxidation state is -1. This is KO2. This is superoxide. This is peroxide. What is this one? Peroxide. What is this one? This is superoxide. Superoxide. In superoxide, oxidation state is -1/2 oxygen. So in addition to the -2 oxidation state, in these compounds oxygen will exhibit other than -2 oxidation state, like here +1, here +2. In hydrogen peroxide, wherever peroxide is there, oxygen oxidation state is -1. This is superoxide. What is this one? Superoxide. And what is the difference between peroxide and superoxide? Last year I taught. In superoxide, oxygen oxidation state is -1/2. Okay. And see, in water, normal water, -2 only. So just try to understand here. Oxygen is most of the compounds exhibiting -2 oxidation state. What about sulfur? Sulfur exhibit -2 also, +4 also, +6 also oxidation state. Means in addition to the -2 oxidation state, sulfur will exhibit +4 and +6 oxidation state. Okay. Why it is possible? Sulfur exhibit -2 +4 +6 oxidation state due to availability of vacant d orbital. When vacant d orbital is there, they will expand their oxidation state, especially in the excited state. Okay, we'll explain that one also. Here try to understand here why I wrote here dioxygen difluoride. Try to understand. Flow generally in the name of any chemical compound, less electronegative or electropositive element is named first. More electronegative element is named later on. Am I correct or not? So just try to understand here. Dioxygen difluoride. Dioxygen difluoride. This is oxygen difluoride. Okay. Because here oxygen is less electronegative than fluorine. Fluorine is the most electronegative elements of the periodic table, and oxygen is less electronegative. Means with respect to the fluorine, oxygen is electropositive. Here also, here also. So this is oxygen difluoride, and this is see dioxygen difluoride. This is oxygen difluoride. Okay. So naming also I have explained. Never write, always remember, always write like that, O2F2. Never write F2O2, because according to the tradition, what should be there? Less electronegative should be written first. So this is the correct form, this is wrong form, because here more electronegative, that fluorine you are writing first. Okay. Another one is same way here also, oxygen difluoride also. Oxygen should be named first, should be written first. Fluorine should be written later on and should be named later on. Now come back to here. Why sulfur is exhibiting variable oxidation state? Just try to understand here. Sulfur in ground state, what is the oxidation state? Ground state. What is this one? Sulfur is 16. So what is this one? First S2, 2S2, 2P6, 3S2, 3P4. Okay, 3P4. So here what is there? 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Px, this is Py, this is Pz. Okay, this is in ground state. Now here, now I am rubbing this side little bit. Just see. In excited state, what would be there? In the sulfur case, what is there? Vacant d orbital is available. Vacant d orbital is available. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just see. This is in ground state. Right now, this is 3p, 3p, 3p. This is 3d. This is 0. Now in excited state, what would be there? Sulfur 16Es. So what is here now? First S2, 2S2, 2P6, 3S2, 3P4. Okay. Now try to understand. 3P is this one. 1, 2, 3. This, and this. Correct or not? Here what would be there? This. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now just see. in excited state, first now this one electron will jump from here to here. Okay, so in this condition, in ground state, what was its oxidation state? Its oxidation state was -2, because if 2 electron it will have, their octet will be completed. Now just see here, this electron will jump and will go here. So how many unpaired electron is here? Here unpaired electron is +4. Okay, now just see, suppose this 3s, write down here 3s here, 3p. Now one electron will jump from here to here. One electron will jump from here to here. So now in this condition, its oxidation state is +6. This is the only reason, that is why sulfur is exhibiting variable oxidation state. Now I hope that you understood why sulfur is exhibiting variable oxidation state. Sulfur is exhibiting variable oxidation state because of the availability of vacant d orbital. So just try to understand, the reactivity of 16 group elements decreases down the group. Reactivity decreases down the group because the reactivity of non-metal judged on the basis of how easily non-metal gets electron, accept electron. Just see, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. So just see, oxygen and sulfur, they are the non-metals. Okay, so 16 group is considered to be the non-metallic group. So the reactivity of non-metal decreases down the group, but reactivity of metallic character or reactivity of elements in terms of metal increases down the group. In all the group it is like that only. See, let it be any group, metallic character increases down the group, non-metallic character decreases down the group. So here what is there? This is the order for non-metallic order. What is this one? Non-metallic order. If you will talk about metallic order, then what would be there? Same order will be like that: oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium and polonium. So this is what is this one? This is metallic order. What is this one? Metallic order. Okay, so now just try to understand reactivity with hydrogen. Next one is now reactivity with hydrogen. So just see, 16 group elements react with the hydrogen and they form hydride. Oxygen hydride is water, sulfur hydride is H2S, selenium hydride is H2Se, tellurium hydride is H2Te, polonium hydride is H2PO. But just try to understand, nitrogen hydride, we are writing hydrogen after nitrogen. Means after writing the 15th group element, then we are writing the hydrogen. All cases, NH3, PH3, ASH3, SBH3, BiH3. Am I correct or not? But in this case, what is there? We are writing hydrogen first, then 16 group element. Why is it so? Simple. As compared to 16 group elements, the electronegativity of hydrogen is less. The electronegativity of hydrogen is slightly lower than 16 group. Means what is there? With respect to 16 group element, hydrogen is electropositive. That is why according to tradition, according to the norms, hydrogen should be written first. Now what about according to 15 group? According to 15 group, what is there? The electronegativity of hydrogen is slightly more than that of 15th group elements. That is why hydrogen is written later on. NH3, here H2S, hydrogen is first, here hydrogen is later on, PH3. This is the reason. Okay, that is why hydrogen should be written later on in case of 15th group element. Okay, now as far as the structure of hydrides of 16 group is concerned, so their structure is bent shape, or you can say angular shape. What is this one? Angular shape. What is this one? Angular shape. So just see, this is the structure. H2O. What is this one? H2O. This is H2S. This is H2SE. This is H2TE. H2 TE. Okay, all have got the angular structure only, bent structure. Just see, but one very conspicuous, very clear difference is there. Just see, in the water bond angle is 104 degree 5 minutes, but in H2S bond angle between S and H bond is 92.1. In this case what is there? 91. In this case what is there? 90 degree. H2 case means what is there? In case of the hydride of 16 group, bond angle is decreasing. So I am rubbing this one this side and will write that question. That is the most important question. So why bond angle decreases down the group in case of hydride of 16 group? So just try to understand here. First write down the question. What is the question? Question is bond angle of 16 group element decreases down the group, decreases down the group. Why? So bond angle of 16 group element decreases, bond angle of 16 group hydride. It is better to mention hydride. Okay, decreases down the group. Why? Just see, it is written here. These are the hydrides. H2O, H2S. What is this one? H2Se. Then H2TE. Okay, H2TE. Hydrogen, selenium, tellurium. Okay, just see. Bond angle is like that. Why? Here what is there? 104 degree 5 minute. Here what is there? 92.1 degree. Here what is there? 91 degree. Here what is there? 90 degree. Just see the explanation. See the explanation. What is the reasons? Down the group, what is there? Down the group, atomic size increases. And second one, electronegativity decreases. Electronegativity decreases. So because of these two factors, see, these are the bond pair electrons or not? Between O and H, bond pair electron is there or not? So they will go away from each other. So the repulsion between, just try to understand why this bond angle is more. Because this bond pair, just see here, O and here H and here H. So 2 electron, here also 2 electron. What are these? These are bond pair electron. What is this one? Bond pair electron. If atomic size is small and electronegativity is more, so these electron, bond pair electron will be close and they will repel each other. Because of this repulsion, now bond angle will expand. But just see, as we go down means oxygen to tellurium. Then what is there? Atomic size increases, electronegativity decreases. So bond pair electron go away from the central atom. Hence repulsion decreases. Here you can write, because of these two effects, bond pair electron go away from each other. Now I am just rubbing this one. Go away from each other, and repulsion decreases. Go away from each other hence repulsion between bond pair and bond pair electron decreases. Bond pair electron decreases. Hence bond angle also decreases. Okay, just try to understand here. See, this is oxygen, 2 lone pair is there, here H and here H. Here what is there? 104 degree 5 minutes. This is bond angle or not? What is this one? Bond angle. Now try to understand here. See, this size of oxygen atom is small, so these two bond pair will be very close, so they will repel each other. Because of this repulsion, what would be there? There is a elongation of bond angle. Now you may raise one question, sir, here lone pair is also there, so lone pair bond pair repulsion magnitude is more, then what should be there? Bond angle should not be decreased. Bond angle should be decreased much. Okay, so just try to understand. Earlier only I told you, effect of lone pair bond pair repulsion is there across the period, but effect of bond pair electron is there in case of down the group or in case of group. So here lone pair, we are not talking of period, we are not talking nitrogen, oxygen, then what is there? Next member is fluorine. If we are talk about the hydride of this one is NH3, its hydride is H2O, its hydride is HF. So if we are talking of bond angle of same period hydride, then we should take into account the lone pair bond pair repulsion also. We are talking of the hydride of same group, H2O, H2S, H2SE, H2SE, H2TE. These are the hydride, correct? So now down the group, what is there? Only bond pair repulsion should be taken into the account. Lone pair bond pair repulsion should not be taken into the account. Okay, so this is NH3, H2O. Here what is there? What would be the order in this case? Here decreasing. Here what would be there? This would be like that. Just see. Here 107 degree. Here 100. You can take here carbon also. Just see. Instead of this one, just see CH4. So here 109 degree 17. This is 104 degree 5 minutes. So what is there? Bond angle is here. What is there? Bond angle is decreasing because of lone pair bond pair repulsion, and down the group also bond angle decreases because of the decrease in the repulsion in the bond pair electron. So I hope that you have got the clear cut idea. Across the period, lone pair bond pair repulsion is making the role in decrease of bond angle, but down the group, what is there? Bond pair repulsion is decreasing. Why decreasing? Due to increase in atomic size and decrease in the electronegativity. Bond pair electron go away from the central metal atom, then what is there? Repulsion decreases. Okay, so when repulsion decreases, bond will come close to each other. This is the reason. Okay, so thank you. The duration of today's video is over. Thank you.